Mm. They usually do like a little countdown.
Countdown.
Yeah, that little countdown. It went from straight to 6 to 4. You saw that? The bullshit. All right, and let me exit out of my Instagram. Instagram pissing me the fuck off.
Instagram. I like the book. I like Facebook. It's ghetto, but it's gonna be with me. I can be on Facebook a lot longer and faster than IG, to be
I
honest.
I know, but it looks like we're gonna have to make a change because Instagram giving me the shutdown on all the videos, and I done posted like the Michael Jackson videos, like you can't use this copyright, and now
Oh, do you have to actually put I don't own the rights to this song? Like, cause I had to do that when they
yeah,
were about to take one of my songs. I'm like, why do I have to put that? But I'm telling you, man, you got to put that. And I'm like, what happened? Ever happened to the good old days where you ain't got to do all that?
I was saying these are videos like long ass time ago. Like these are videos like in 2016 and shit. It was way before when the copyright shit got even more sensitive and serious than it is already now. And so they just flagging all my videos and some other
Um,
shit that they doing and stuff.
they're
Like
probably shadow banning you too.
that's what they calling it.
That's what it's called, shadow ban. Like people, if you like the only way, man. Like I think I've had people say, Kendra, I think you're shadow banned because of the fact that like I can't when you be out there on vacation and stuff like that. Like I can't
Mhm.
find you. Like I can't type your name in. I'm like, "Ew, oh well, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Maybe God realized that you were on some foo foo and we weren't supposed to see each other. That's how I look at that now.
I know. I mean, I don't mind like protecting the rights of people music and all that shit, but there's some other shit they need to be worried about. Like I'm getting all these fucking bots that's following me. I'm gonna make a video
Oh,
about that,
okay.
put that on. Yeah, like I got all these damn bots in my damn
Have you almost fell for
DMs.
it though?
Huh?
Have you almost fallen for it? For all the English teachers out there, they're gonna be like, "What
Oh,
type of girl you got on your podcast? She look like an adult, and she don't know the difference between fail, fall, past tense, pretense." Honey, don't try me like that. Okay.
uh-huh. I mean, I get it, but man, you gonna be strict. Be strict on that. Like, be strict on the fucking bots. Like, sending me DMs. I'm thinking this work people down trying to get infused with, but it's like, hey, come see me on this website. I'm naked. You know, some bullshit, man. Just waste my. Be strict on that. And then as soon as I say something about the virus or something like that, we gonna get blocked and all kinds of shit. But I ain't gonna get deep into that. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen. Without further ado, let me introduce y'all my motherfucking new special guest onto the show. Uh, been trying to get her like on the show for a while, and it's been a minute for me, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize. Got a new job, and it's kind of bullshit. But anyway, let me go ahead and get back to my special guest. This lady right here is Clark and Atlanta University alumni. She's creator of the famous and well-known the Kyndra Crump Show on YouTube, and you know, I have a feeling like this is going to be a great time. This is a great special guest. We just hit it off strong, and this is going to be a great show. I can feel it. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Kyndra motherfucker Crump is in the building in the show with no name. So, Kyndra Crump, welcome to the show. Tell the motherfucking audience about yourself. You ain't gotta say everything, just a little brief summary of how you feel comfortable with.
Look, this ain't gonna be no thesis statement. HNIC head nigga in charge. Put some respect on my name. So
There
much
you
for
go.
HNIC that that's my Wi-Fi network name, and no, none of y'all can actually have it. Okay, and for a shout out to all the people out there stealing Wi-Fi. Okay, grow up, man. Y'all remind me of people who probably still text they, dat, this, and them. Okay, you probably also remind me of the people who probably still throw up middle fingers in the picture. Are you ever gonna grow up? You probably remind me of the people who are still 70 years old on the block handing out your mixtape and selling a
Hmm.
bag, nickel and dime bags. You ain't moved no weight yet? All right. But yeah, that is me. I am re enrolling myself into school, Georgia State to be exact. Once they actually, like, I guess, accept me, like, I'm partly accepted, but not really. They're like, oh, it takes like 15 to 20 business days for actual approval. Guys, come on now. Just accept it. I was on the honor roll. Is that not good enough? Do y'all not know who I am around here? But yeah, I'm trying to go back to re-enroll back into school to get my PhD for in child psychology. So you can call me Dr. Crump, in due
Oh wow.
time, And I'll accept some adults But my only thing about the difference that I can, the reason I say child psychology versus like adult psychology, or just the adult psychology, is because adults piss me off when they continue to vent about the same thing over and over again,
Yeah,
and there's no
yeah,
solution. Like,
yeah,
why do you allow this, like, James to give you crabs every other month? Okay, he's cheating
yeah.
on you with a woman named Big Bertha. Okay, he doesn't care
Mm-hmm,
about you, Big Bertha, and them they be chilling at my house. Okay, none of y'all, they don't care about none
mm-hmm.
of y'all. Okay, stop it.
Yeah,
But I mean, I'll give a couple. I feel like I feel like you might, and that's why I think I like talking to men more than women, because men, y'all typically don't vent about a woman for more than like a week, or maybe two, if that.
yeah,
Typically, like,
yeah,
let me ask you
yeah.
something. Have you ever had to cut a homeboy off because he kept talking about the same thing and there was no solution after that?
Uh, yeah, that done, man. I kind of did like one or twice or something like that. Now, if it's coming to like my best friend, you know what I'm saying, like your road dog, your homeboy, y'all been through the thick and the thin, and you keep giving them like the same advice, you know, but then at the same time, you just want to be there, support them, and I kind of like don't go into like same details and advice over. I just be like, hey, I told you what to do. Whatever decision you make is up to you, man. Like, whatever happens, that's what you did is up to you. You know what I'm saying? And I try to keep myself from saying like, hey, when it happens, don't come back here and talk to me about that shit. I told you what was going to happen. You know. But then at the same time, it's like half dealing with the person. I mean, I love my boy. If you just want to vent, you know, just let it fit. And I just make jokes and laugh about it and stuff. You know, but depending on the person, I'm not answering that phone or in the reason.
There's some people you already know, once they you see their name calling, like, oh, what they want, man, what yeah.
Damn,
Here's
what she do? What she punch you again? Damn, what she want?
but you know what I think it comes down to. I think, by talking to so many people, there are people out there who are they're whipped, like they are.
Yeah,
The sex makes them stay in these situations that cause them to be abused, right? And let me,
yeah.
have you ever dealt with a woman who it was so good where you literally was doing stuff and tolerating her a lot longer than you should have? Or have you always kept it player where it's like once you smell some BS, you're like, I'm not dealing with it no more?
Yeah, I smell it's come to the point where like when I smell BS, I like I don't want to deal with it no more.
Hmm.
You know,
How'd you
I
become that
kind of
strong though? What is your secret? Listen, I feel like you can write the handbook on how to keep it player. What is your secret?
honestly is out of experience, not just experience, but seeing experience. I would say that I seen like the game at an early age, and one of those people is like, damn, I don't want to say his name, but somebody I grew up with, basically. So
Okay.
I ain't gonna say no names, but basically it's like not just him, but other people that's around it. And I grew up with a lot of you know, mostly elderly people,
Okay.
and they taught me the game and just seeing something because all it takes. Sometimes all it takes is like when you're growing up, when you see something that doesn't look right, you be like, yeah, I don't want to fuck with that. Just for example, like you see somebody jump out of the plane, it's up to you. Like, do you want to do that shit or not? Now that shit's scary. I'm like, nah, I'm not fucking with it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like one of those things that you just witness in life, see how it could turn somebody into. You know. So I'm not saying this to brag or nothing like that, but I haven't. Now, only time without getting it as growing up as a kid, I've been played as a fool. Honestly, I've been played as a fool, honestly, for a girl that I like. I would do things, be a gentleman, be a nice guy, as you supposed to, not just because for the booty, but, supposed to be a nice guy overall. But, you go to the literal extreme for this person because you want to be with her. But doing like over above certain things, it can make you like a fool without even getting the pussy. So I learned that in a certain way too.
Okay. Well, okay. Let me, that segues to my next question though. what is the most amount of money, stupidly, or estimate that you ever spent on a woman that you really liked and you were trying to get her to either A, like you, or really like want to be with you, or you had liked this girl and then y'all were, I guess, seeing each other and then you were like really trying to go above and beyond for
Man, I would say, I would say, overworking overtime and shit like that. I would say probably like 1,000
her? Okay.
and stuff.
Okay.
So now this is somebody that that I tried to get with and didn't work out, right?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
didn't work
I would
out.
say,
It didn't work
I
out.
would say over, I would say like over 1,000, like working overtime. Like this is one girl that we lived out of state, and I was working my ass off overtime. Used
Oh
to
wait, y'all lived together, or she lived? Y'all were doing a separate, like a long distance
long
relationship.
distance, long distance.
Okay,
Yeah, it was
okay,
like
okay.
long distance and shit. And I would, we buy each other gifts and stuff, and also like help put money down on some shit.
Mhm,
Um, I mean, I put in the work, you know, as a good man's supposed to do.
mhm,
Uh, but then at the same time, I mean, one thing about me, I don't like to leave paper trails. I don't do paper trails though.
mhm.
I don't let that bother me. Like how much money I spent on this person, because at the end of the day, you choose to spend that much. That's on you. Ain't nobody tell you to spend that amount of money on this person. So in my way of life of thinking when it comes to that, I don't do paper trails.
You know what? And I've come across, like, there was this one guy, and just like you ain't gonna say no names, I'm not gonna. I do
Mm.
when in Rome, but on my own podcast, honey, I be saying names, not caring.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah, that's your show. You do that.
because
But
I'm like, what you gonna say? It's the truth. What you gonna do? You gonna sue me? Okay, that's cool.
right, right.
Uh, but no. So I remember this one guy. We're gonna call him New York because that's where he's from. New York, New York told me that he had pawned like some stuff in his room to pay for this girl, like, help her out financially. He says, I ain't never doing that again. I keep coming across so many cats who literally will not go through that again. And I'm like, what about me? I want someone to pawn some stuff for me.
Hmm.
I'm
Exactly.
telling you, let me tell you the most amount of money a guy's ever spent on me. Okay. And I don't think he was trying to get to know me. He was just really just maybe being nice at that point. It
Yeah.
was $95, and it was like Victoria's Secret stuff. So it was like a
Hmm.
combination of like shirt and underwear, right? And he's like, "Oh, I just
Hmm.
want you to take some pictures and send it to me." And I'm like, "Ah!" But I had to do it, because it would only been right, that's kind of,
Yeah, yeah.
But other than that, nobody ain't ever like somebody told me, "Girl, I had this one guy buy me a house." I said, "What do you have to do?" They're like, "Well, Kendra, you have to have sex, and since you're not having that, good luck with that." I'm like, I know there's a nice
Mm,
man out there who will buy me a house because I'm like,
exactly.
look, I'm funny. Okay, I get great
Yeah.
conversation. Don't you want me on your arm?
Hmm.
No, that's not good enough.
I mean, that is the ugly truth with men. I guess it's because that you know when it comes to like love and intimacy, I guess you want the intimacy to come with it. Because the man has a if a man like pictures like a future with you, I mean, of course, like sex is going to come to that.
Mhm.
Because one thing about men, I guess, man, we're just really simple creatures. You know, we're we like to be, into the woman, like conversation wise, like who you really are mentally and physically. You know, I mean, it's only like I'm pretty sure it's like a few out there that just like into like a woman just intellectually,
It's sapiosexual.
just for yeah, yeah, without really have to worry about having sex, or who knows anything.
Yeah.
One thing about this world, anything is possible, but honestly, the ugly truth is. One thing I told her, like, man, you just keep putting that thing on, you get whatever you want. you know, you just hey. I'm not saying being an asshole or nothing like that, but I'm gonna work my ass off for you and stuff. not as no sex slave shit or that I gotta have sex every day. But my thing is like, man, like you guys are good. You keep putting that thing on me, hey, get whatever you want.
Yeah,
You
do.
know.
Hey, babe, do the little grip thing that I like. Do that little grip thing.
Mm,
Y'all
um,
know.
I mean, much as I don't know, maybe I'm just saying this for me. I'm pretty sure every other man that's out there is different. I mean, because here's me. I the type of person I am. I had this one girl when I was in college with. All right, and no, I thought me and her we were gonna make it through because we were similar. Like we loved anime. We barely argue in the course of our relationship, even though it was just 9 months. But
Oh,
yeah, we only got into it like twice, but it was like 9 months. Um, so what happened was she went back home. She went back home over the summertime when we was out of school, and we talked over the phone. It was like our first time like being like this much away from each other. All right. So throughout that course of the summertime, she started changing a little bit, and so I went to summer school, Grambling State. Uh,
yeah,
Me and my
HBCU.
boy,
Shout
yeah,
out, shout out, shout out.
yeah, yeah. And so I was staying in Grambling over the summertime little room, and she came to Grambling to go watch the movie and try to come see me and stuff. And so she came to see me. Uh, she busted out crying. So she said, like, in order for us to be together, she's a Jehovah Witness. So
Okay,
in order for us to be together, that means and to continue to have sex and make love that we like to do, that means you have to marry me, you know.
okay,
And
of course.
I was willing to do that, because I really, like I said, I was really in love with this person. And one thing about me, like abstinence without having sex when I was like a senior in high school, all the way up to no, not senior. When I was. Oh no, I was a freshman. I take that back. When I was a freshman, and this like I already had like lost my virginity and shit. So,
Mhm.
uh, but anyway, so it was like in my mind, like I could do that again. Like I could just hold off without having sex and just to be with this girl. So I talked to some people. Like, how could somebody like my religion and her religion could get along? And one guy said it's doable. So, but it came to the point where she tried to change who I am overall, and so I cut it off. You
Like when
know,
you say change who you are overall, you mean like she say, "Hey, babe, you need to wear this. You need to wear that. You need to dress like. You need to eat better like this. You need to change your lingo. We're gonna call you a whole nother name." Like, was it that?
no, it was like change my career. Stop me doing martial arts because Jehovah Witnesses they don't believe in harming people. Um,
Oh my gosh.
and
Okay,
then I
wait,
was like,
wait, wait. Hold on. Let me. Can I raise my hand real quick?
go
This is
ahead.
like, let me quick slightly interject. Okay, and
Yeah,
this is no disrespect to anybody out there who follows any type of religion, but I want you guys to understand. At some point, you have to have common sense when you are calling yourself a certain whatever. Like for example, growing up, my mother's an evangelist. So we grew
yeah,
up in a Christian, non-denominational Christian household, right? But like Christianity and every other religion, it's still like people are dogmatic. So this is a sin, this is a sin,
yeah,
and these things are quoted, right? And then once you grow older and you start doing research for yourself, you realize that Christianity was thrown on us during slavery. So I
yeah,
had to denounce that, and I say I'm a follower of Christ. What does that mean? Number one, the word J was not even in the Bible. Like in the biblical days, there was no letter J. Okay, the letter J came many centuries later. The name was Yeshua. Okay, so I'll still say Jesus Christ, but I really
yeah,
more so say Yeshua, Yahweh, El Shaddai, El Elyon, all this type of stuff. I still
hmm
pray. to God. I still read my Bible, and not only do I read my Bible, I actually act out what is in the Bible. So many people want to say, "Oh, well, I'm a follower," and then they still doing stuff that has like, bro, like what part of the Bible is this? But anyway, going back to with her, like even when it comes with Jehovah's Witness talking about violence, if somebody runs up on you and attacks you, you're gonna let them to attack you. Where is the common sense? That's what I'm saying. You have to have some type of common sense, and at the end of the day, you're still human. Maybe they're more so saying like the love apart, but you got people out there who have demonic spirits in them, and they're trying to come at you.
Hmm.
And that's what I
Yeah.
don't think people understand about that. You can't follow one thing and not follow the other. Like, okay, that's all I'm gonna
Hey,
say about that. That's all I'm gonna say.
I know. Hey, I get it. Like I said, I noticed when it happened when we was watching some movie and it was about this dude like defending like these kids and going back to, he's going back to kill these people who holding these kids hostages and stuff. And he was in this big, is this movie called Machine Gun Preacher. It's based on a true story. And this guy was in an interview, and this person interviewed like like certain ways or better ways like how you could like save the kids. This guy was like, if I'm able to bring your kid back, does it really matter how I save him? You know, and like it was a good line, and so that's how I like transcended into of us like well, of me noticing the change in her, like the difference of what's going on, and she wanted me to change my major because I was a criminal justice major and I was thinking about like, going to SWAT, they hurt people. And then she tried to change my religion. I was like, you know what? Um, I can't do, I mean, I can't, I know I can, but I just don't feel like I should. So, I don't try to change nobody. I don't believe in, changing somebody. Like if they won't change, they got to really be changing for themselves. Yeah,
That's true. That
you
is
know,
true.
I don't,
That
yeah.
is rule number one.
That's the main reason. Like I don't like I said, if something about you, I don't try to change you. My is my decision to if I fuck with it, if I fuck with it and I don't fuck or I don't fuck with it. You know, if I don't fuck with it, then I'm just leave. You just do what you want to do. So
Now,
that's
did
how
you get
we
along
broke it
with?
off.
Did each one of you all's families? Did you guys get along with each other? Like your mother, her uncle, your aunt.
My parents, my parents met her, and my parents never met her parents, but my parents met her, and I met her parents and stuff. So, and it's like I guess 9 months can go by quick, but it wasn't really that long, and that was like my first serious relationship too. Like it was like my first serious one. Um, but I mean, I was cool with the mama, cool with the sisters. Um, nobody really had no feud. You know what I'm saying? Like everything was good. Only thing that was just cop
Changing.
blocking us was the religion.
Has she ever tried reaching out like many years later or after that was?
Oh man, it was like we broke it off before we went back to school, and this like it was like my first time trying like to kick it with somebody like after a serious relationship. We hang out, and just I don't know how people do it. I don't know how people just hang out with somebody and still, continue to be friends like after they had a relationship or something like that. I mean, it wasn't a we I cried. Oh, she cried after we got off the phone, like when we broke it up, like, it was heartbroken. I cried and shit. So it wasn't really a huge dramatic breakup, like a big feud. Nobody wasn't cussing each other out or anything like that. So, but it didn't it didn't really work out. Like it just slowly cut off to the point where we just like we end up being like strangers or something. Like can really have no conversation like we used to. So in my mind, in my type of perspective, once once I dated you, once I got in a relationship with you, and once we end a relationship, I'm moving on to another page. That's just me. Like I move on, cut off everything. It's just no point of just trying to be friends or something like that. I could be wrong, but that's just me.
And maybe it could also save you from the heartache and heartbreak as well, especially if you
Yeah.
guys are still friends. and they start dating someone else, and you're upset behind that because you're like,
Yeah,
why? And then wait, and then they send you an invitation to the wedding.
yeah, and that's the thing too. It's like that's just kind of weird to me. To me, I'm not saying for anybody else, but that's weird to me. Like I'm friends with somebody that I used to be in a relationship with and stuff, and then you end up dating somebody, and this person's trying to get really serious with you, but this person might feel uncomfortable because I'm friends with you, like we're talking on the phone, like hanging out, and this person he's gonna feel uncomfortable, you know, and I'm like, I can't do that because I know how I would feel, especially as a man, you know. Um, One thing about most men, you know, you're gonna have that. You're gonna have the insecurity first. Then you might have that jealousy come in that just comes with us. So even for me, I'm not gonna make it harder for him than it already is. So I'm just gonna just go on about your life. I see you when I see you. God bless you. That's me.
It always makes me like slightly chuckle when people say "God bless you," because I'm like thinking like, is that how you really feel?
Okay, how I really feel.
Because I don't think that's how
That is
you
how
really
I really
like after
feel.
after y'all done finish arguing. You know what? God bless you. No, no, no. I think God's looking down like, bro, like leave my name out of
Okay,
this.
okay. I mean, I'm trying to, like I said, I'm trying to. I was gonna say the other part that I still say. I'm like, all right, God bless you and motherfucker. Yeah, that's all. That's
That's
how I
it.
really.
Okay. See, and that
Yeah,
just be real. But here's the thing:
yeah,
be real though. That at the end of the day,
yeah.
I think we all feel that way. We
I just,
all
sometimes you just you try to keep from saying that because you don't want to have no bad blood. You don't want to make people feel like it's bad blood. But then at the same time, like, what, God, especially the ones who done me wrong.
no, no, no.
I
Of
ain't gonna
course,
hold
there
that
there
shit
are
back.
some people out there, man. I understand. There are some people out there. They deserve all that wrath. They deserve it
Mm-hmm.
from you. They
Mm-hmm.
deserve it. There are some people out there who I think really are the spawns of Satan. And there are times I really wish that I can be like God in the Old Testament and smite a lot of people off. I can be real with you because look, we family. I can be real with you.
Yeah.
My biggest problem is I gotta stop wanting people to die when I get mad.
Every damn near choke on my drink. God dog.
Oh god. No, I mean
Oh
that's on
man.
there. I'm telling you, you know what? If I don't like, for example, we're all gonna get told no at some point, right? But in my
Yeah.
mind, if you tell me no, I done already like plotted your death, and then I moved on. After I done finished not getting mad no more, I blown off the steam. I'm like, okay, back to being happy. That is that's my biggest like flaw and everything else like that.
Oh yeah.
But to me, but I'm human, mind you. I'm a very happy person. I'm a
Yeah.
happy, go lucky. If you guys watch my, once I, give out my socials and everything else, and then you go
Oh
watch me
yeah.
and everything, you're gonna say, man, like she's a ball of energy, but at the same time, I'm still human because people really will try it, and they really will try to
Hmm.
mess you over, and they don't want to, try to suck that joy and everything else. Like I'll give you a prime example. All right, again, not saying names. We gonna call her. We gonna call her Fayetteville because she's from like Fayetteville, Georgia. Okay, so
Yeah. Just keep it
Fayetteville,
with the city name.
we gonna call city Fayetteville.
Yeah.
So anyway, known her since we were in middle school, and she had recently, once we had a conversation not too long ago, she recently had told me like there are times where I don't feel like, when I see your name across my phone, I don't want to answer. Blase, woo, you never call me and talk about, financial advice and money. I don't call because I don't need no help financially. Like I'm cool. If the person who I would call is Dave Ramsey and Bill Gates, people who actually
Yeah.
have made it, not you who, nah, I'm cool. You ain't living in no 6-bedroom house. Come on now.
Yeah.
I'm cool.
Yeah.
Back to the story. So she said, I honestly, you want to sit here and ask me questions about stuff that happened years back, and just basically, she's telling me overall that she doesn't care about, our friendship in the way that it used to be. She doesn't want to go and live in the past. And I think what it is that she's ashamed of a lot of stuff that has happened in her past, so she doesn't want to
Hmm.
be reminded of that. But it's like if
Don't
I
want to
ask a
reflect it.
question, I ask a question like, you shouldn't make me feel bad because of the fact that I am asking you this question just because I want to know. So it's like now is you're trying to make me conform to be what you want me to be, and I'm like, I don't know how that's gonna happen. But
Yeah.
like I said, is to me is just you got people like that. You got people who just y'all spiritual wavelengths ain't the same no more. And
Hmm.
and I was like, you know what? That's cool. Friends come and friends go, and that's how pretty much it
Yeah.
is. And sometimes
Yeah.
people will do stuff to alienate themselves out of your life.
Oh yeah, you know what? I just remember something. The one the Jehovah Witness I was telling you about. Now, here's why I really did say, all right, well, God bless you, motherfucker.
Hmm.
She got 2 kids and not married.
Well, wait, hold on, wait. Let me play devil's advocate real quick. Hold on, let me play devil's advocate.
Yeah.
How do you know how okay, the scripture talks about train up a child in the way that they should go when they get old, they should not depart. Now, we're still human at the end of the day.
I
Okay?
know. I
So
know.
so we might end up doing stuff. Like I'll give you a prime example. I'm on this cleanse. Like, oh, here's a fun fact for everybody to know. I'm still a virgin. My throat's not, but my cat is. Okay. And so with that being so technically speaking, by Webster's dictionary, I'm not a virgin, but by everyone else in the world's dictionary with some common sense, Kendra, you still are. Okay. But for me, I'm on this journey of trying to wait until marriage. And the key word is trying.
Right.
Because I had
Yeah.
a wet dream this morning and I was like, oh my gosh, it felt so real. I said, oh my goodness, I failed. Back to the story. So but with that, like
Good.
I said, with that being said, I think what comes down to it is, we go through that human nature of still trying certain things out. And maybe she just felt guilty when she says, hey, we're still going to be out here. You deep in my guts. Can we at least get married first? Because I just feel guilty standing
I
up there in
get
the
it.
church choir and like I'm preaching the word and I'm sitting here knocking on. Did she ever get you to knock on people's houses with her?
No, she was doing it like she was in a different city. I mean, we were still in the same
No, no,
state. Like,
like I'm saying, like, did she ever get you to like say, hey, let's do a like, let me show you what I do on Saturday mornings or so?
hell no. That's the thing. Like, like she will like start talking about the scriptures and everything over the phone. Uh, while I'm playing the game and stuff like long distance. But anything else, no, we didn't do that. Like I
Okay.
said, she was in Jonesboro. I was in Louisiana when she starts like getting more serious into it. Now, like I said, she's been a Jehovah Witness and everything. She ain't just turned Jehovah Witness. Like she was Jehovah Witness the whole time when we started talking, and like we were literally like fucking like rabbits, And I guess like when she went home, my assumption that her parents like, well, her mom, she was just no, her mama was with her. She wasn't really with her dad. Like her mom influenced more of that religion into her while she was back home because that's she was always around the whole time. So
Hmm.
it makes sense. But I'll just say no. What you're saying is totally understandable. I get it. Like trying, I'm pretty sure she came to like you were human. Came to her like a realization at the end. I'm gonna do me either way. I mean, not just Jehovah Witness. Like Christians, we all do the same thing too. Like
Hmm.
we try to go by the Bible, but then at the same time, we all still cussing up a storm.
But wait, let me
And
say something about that real quick. This is what cursing is. Cursing is when you speak death upon people, when you speak ill will, horrible, negative things upon people.
No.
Like people. That's why I don't understand. People need to understand. Like when if you let's just do a prime example. Okay, let's say you walk to the bathroom in the middle of the night and end up stepping on something or somebody scares you. Like that's gonna be the natural. Like you didn't curse if you said shit. Like that's not a curse word. If you're somebody cuts you off while you're driving on the road, like that's
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on what you say to them, but still, that's not a curse word. If you are in your marital bed, okay, are you playing some Fred Hammond? No, you're not. You probably playing some Lil Kim hardcore album. So that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like people need to stop. Like that to me is not cursing. Cursing is when you
Yeah.
speak death upon people. You are
Oh,
speaking negativity and hoping that something bad is gonna happen to them. That is
yeah.
cursing.
Yeah. Or just any example of the sin. I would, well, I
Okay,
guess I
no,
was,
I want all of these.
yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up because I want
Yeah.
all of these self-proclaimed Bible-based people to understand that that is not cursing. Like I like you. Everybody's interpretation of the Bible is gonna be different, but once you actually read it, it's like, bro, like half the stuff they told us in church is like false. I'm just saying, like there's multiple
Yeah.
ways of tithing. You don't have to give your ten
Hmm.
percent to the actual church. You can tithe in other ways, like tithing your time, like going to clean up, like recycling, picking up trash around the neighborhood. Paying for somebody's groceries, cooking a
Girl,
nice
did you
home cooked
did
meal.
girl, did you see Joe Olstein got a damn Ferrari? Um, they had posted that on social media. I think about like
That's
last night.
gross.
Yeah, that motherfucker got a whole Ferrari. He's literally that nigga from Don't Be a Menace. Like, don't ask no questions. He is that
Don't
nigga Joe
ask no
Olstein. Yeah,
questions. Don't ask no.
Shade
Oh my
Room.
gosh,
Yeah, the Shade
hilarious.
Room posted that shit. Like, man, that nigga Joe Olstein got a
Today,
Ferrari. Don't
I
ask
got
that nigga no
I got to
questions.
check out that. I didn't know that. Again, he's a. I'll tell you. Let me tell you something. I went to a mega church.
Yeah.
Since you just said a name, I'm gonna say the mega church pastor, Creflo Dollar. Are you familiar with him?
Yeah,
Okay, cool. So I
yeah,
went,
man. You got me familiar with Creflo Dollar.
or somebody look. People call Creative Flow dollars and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Let me tell you something about him. So what ended up happening was I was actually a member of his church. My mother started going there, like in the '80s,
yeah,
and I wasn't born like to like the mid late '90s, right? And so I've been pretty much there like while I was in the womb, and of course at the time there were a few things that I remember at that church that just kind of, and as I'm thinking about it now, it just kind of has thrown me off. I remember I
yeah,
was 7, the very first time I got saved in quotation marks, but the only reason I got saved was because remember a church leader had like he was speaking aggressively in the mic saying if you don't go get saved now you're going to hell. So of course as a kid
just scared the shit out of you, don't you?
so of course, as a kid, you don't, hell, of course, is a scary place, but you don't realize until you get older. Hell is really on earth. We're living in hell now, but you don't realize until you get older. But
What?
I was 7 years old first time I got saved because I just didn't want to go to hell. Okay,
Yeah,
so of course, I'm still doing what I want to do. Years later, I'm hitting high school at this point. I remember there was another church leader, and I loved the teen ministry to the point they had to kick me out because they said I was too old. And I'm like, guys, I'm still dealing with teenage type stuff. Why do I have to go to the adult service? Okay,
right.
so I remember having to go. It was a teen ministry, and there was this other church leader saying that smoking weed and fornication is gonna send you to hell. And they said this because they knew we were all a lot of us in middle school, high school, we start, doing that. But let me tell you, I'm
Yeah,
about to break it down with you guys really quickly, okay? Because again, there's a lot that I know, and I'm not gonna go too deep because I don't want 2 men in black showing up at your door saying, Kyndra Crump, she was on your podcast. Roll, you going with us? I'm not gonna go too deep into it. But a lot of people
yeah,
don't
it's
understand
fine.
this. Like the very first person you had, there were no weddings back in the biblical days. When a person had consummated their relationship, when they first had sex raw, because I don't think they had condoms back in the days. But when a
Yeah,
person first
no.
had sex raw, that's when they were joined together as man and woman, as a couple. They are married. So whoever you first had sex with, that is who you are married to, which is why God says not to have sex, with just a bunch of randoms, okay?
Right.
So with that being said, and then when you had sex with them, that's when God came down and he blessed that union and you guys are now married. So whoever you first had sex with, Ken, technically speaking, you're married to them.
Man.
But back to the story. So I'm gonna tell you really my final strike when it came with World Changers as a whole. Okay, let me tell you my final strike. I remember two instances. The jet, he asked for a GoFundMe on the jet. And eventually, once it got too much flack, it got taken down. And the second thing that happened was he had a 5 minute presentation video about how he needs new equipment on the church, new like televisions, everything, microphones, all that.
Build a fund.
So, so this is what he does. He comes out and he says 5 minutes later after the presentation was over, he comes out and he says, I need 4,000 like or 40,000 or 4,000 people to donate this amount of money so I can get some equipment. And he stops, he pauses like for 10, 15 seconds, and the whole church erupted in praise and clapping. And I look around and I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
Right.
Okay. And I'm looking around and I said, I got to get up out of here. After that,
Yeah.
that's the last time I literally stepped foot in that church. Now, I will say
Yeah.
this. I actually had, when we were shut down last year, quote unquote, shut down, and everything else, I actually caught one of his sermons online. And I really, I was, kind of vibing with the words. But like, and this is what it's taught me. Number one, anybody is capable of doing anything. And
Yeah.
sometimes you might have a really great message from a horrible person. So what I do now from because I have matured, I take the message from that person instead of looking up to that person as God. Now again, I had watched this sermon
Mhm.
like I said last year, I watched the sermon for 10 minutes and I was like, okay, cool. I was really vibing with it and everything else. But other than that, I'm not stepping foot in that church. I can't, like, if I can't even have a actual one on not even a one-on-one relationship, if I can't go up to you and talk to you after service is over or before service is started,
Yeah.
there's no need in me actually attending your church. Like everybody up in that place is security, including the freaking
Yeah.
dog, the old lady, whatever it might be. And there was like this rumor going around that there's an ATM in there, and there probably is. I didn't see one. Or wait, was there? I think there. I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and say
Yeah.
that there was. There probably is one, but like
Yeah.
for it's like, and this is also my thing. That's why I had to start my own individual Bible study. Like I actually do that typically every week, once a week, Tuesday or Wednesdays or Thursdays, once out the week. And
Hmm.
actually after we get off this call, I'm gonna go ahead and start it up. And what I do is I get with other people who, are like minded and me. Like we're all like minded together. Like, hey, you come as you are. If we curse up in there, we curse up in there. It don't matter. Like, hey, we
Yeah.
just are, you come as you are. If you want to come in on there drunk, it don't matter as long as you showed up.
Yeah.
So that's my entire thing and stuff like that. But like I said, a lot of these mega church ministers, like it makes you not want to go back to the church. I actually came. I'm
Yeah.
gonna say this and I'm gonna let you go ahead and speak. I came across this article on IG, and it was where they said people in Detroit got into a fight when the pastor asked them to donate some money, and they sitting there broke, and they all a fight erupted out there, and I'm like, and this I think it was like maybe this year or last year, and I'm like, I'm not surprised. Like, what are you sitting here asking people who have less than for extra money? Like, come on now.
Damn. So you tell me the people in the church in Detroit fighting against themselves, like who got the money or not for the church, right?
No, it was like a minute. Once the minister had asked, I need some money, when it came with extra ties and everything else, like
Yeah.
a fight automatically just erupted. And then they said, man, like this man has more money than us. I think that's what they were really upset about. Like the fact that
Oh, okay.
he is literally asking for money. And he's got a whole Bentley. And I just remember while I was in church, like the collection plate went around 2 or 3 times at World Changers. Bro, just do it
Mhm.
once. Just do it once.
I
And
that was I can't.
why can't churches actually talk about multiple ways of tithing? Why do they feel like, okay, and where does it say that in the Bible about giving 10% to the church?
The church building fund has to be completed. and the church building fund will keep going on until you damn near 60. People been paying for that church building fund since they had got baptized as a kid and growing old till they turned 60 at that same church. When the damn church building fund gonna be through?
It's the same as the toll fees, like toll roads, like in certain states and cities where it's like, oh well, you have to pay for. I'm like, bro, I've been paying on these tolls since I was zero. Okay, why is
Exactly.
it not like paid off yet? And that to me, I'm telling you, man, that's why I cannot wait until Jesus comes back and raptures me and I'm out of here because I am as I'm getting the more the scarier the world is, and I'm just tired of people as a whole.
Yeah.
What I try to do is so I won't get so consumed and warped in that. I try to honestly do stuff that keeps me at peace. But just like I said, like there are days like I'm like I just don't want to step out the house because I know it's gonna be some like working with the public. You mentioned earlier that I don't know, did you tell the people about your job and everything else? Because I don't want to
I don't know. Shoot, I ain't did it, but yes, um, I
about one
am
of
a
your
bus
jobs.
driver.
I said, okay, okay, cool. I didn't, if you tell me something, if we're not recording, I have this thing in my mind where I'm gonna act dumb. Like if you announce, like, oh my goodness, you are. I try to do that. Like I feel
No,
like people
it's
respect you
not
a
a
little bit
secret.
more when you do that. Like you're not sitting there telling their business like
No,
that.
it's not a secret of stuff. I mean, no, I'm a bus driver, public city bus driver, not
Okay.
dealing with the kids. I deal
And I
with
was gonna
public
ask you
transport.
which bus driver, and I was gonna. That's why I was gonna ask you a question. And it reminds me, like, I think bus drivers as a whole, people like that's a real like y'all need to get paid the same amount that an NFL player gets paid because like y'all, that's a whole service. You have to deal with people who smell, people who don't want to pay their fare, and like I said, I was like, I thought you were dealing with children, so I was like, you got to like, what if a fight happens, on the kids' bus, and stuff like that, like you got
I
to deal with.
barely, I barely like. I was just telling my baby the other day, because I used to deal with psych patients in 2016 all the way to 2018. Now that alone, that's like that's bullshit. As soon as you walk into the hospital, as soon as you step on the floor, and my mind was focused, just for the money, and then I had concern for the real good patients that I really worked with, and I dealt with the worst of the kind. I dealt with the psychopaths, dealt with the killers, the prisoners. I've been bit, kicked, stabbed,
Wait,
you
wait,
can
wait,
name
wait, wait, wait. So did you have to get a tetanus shot prior to all of that?
it. I don't remember.
So wait,
I
I got a
probably
joke.
did.
I got a joke for you. I got a joke since you just mentioned bit. I got a joke for you. Anybody out there who got HIV, I need you hit me up so I can have you bite somebody.
But the bite didn't go through the skin though. Like it didn't pierce through my skin, so I didn't really have to. I mean, I got checked for it, went down to the ER, got checked for all that kind of bullshit. But I didn't. It didn't. His bite didn't pierce the skin though. But I I have the understanding of really how to deal with people because I try to be, very communicative, very understanding. I'm a very open minded person. Um, that would bless me to really just have patience for like a lot of people through all kinds of bullshit. I had to deal with people shit like people shitting on themselves and all kinds of stuff. But I told my baby, I said, you know what? I think the older I'm getting now, I'm starting to have less patience for people. I hate to say this because I said back in the day, like it really like certain things just really don't really bother me. Like I'm really good at tuning shit out and just keep going and just keep doing my job. But when you're a bus driver, you really deal with somebody's shit. Like, for example, the mask situation. It's federal law. Still, when you ride in public transportation, you still gotta wear your mask. Like, we don't want to fucking do it. I don't like wearing masks on the bus either. But as soon as you step on my bus, you gotta wear your mask. All right.
Okay.
And I tell somebody like, hey, you have a mask, sir? You're like, oh yeah, yeah, I got a mask and stuff. So he'll go back there and he's talking to people, and he's got that half-ass situation with his mask is under his chin, and he's just talking straight out of his mouth. And in my mind, okay, you must think I'm a bitch or something. I ain't no bitch. Like I like that's what my mind go to. Like, okay, I ain't gonna let it bother me. This is my last drive, this is my last route. I'm almost home. And then that pressure starts to build up, like, you know what, fuck it. So I just get the intercom like, hey yo, my man, put your mask on for me. You gonna have your mask on, have your mask on. Now I could have just kept driving, don't let it bother me, and just went on out my way. But stuff like that, like in my mind, like this is getting on my fucking nerves. And then you have the nerve to cough without your mask on. And I was like, all right, if you coughing, I said, bruh, I told you once again, and I try to be nice. And here's one thing that's starting to irk me too, is that I hate when in my mind it's like when I try to be nice to you, when I try to tell you something, and yet you don't do it, I like, okay, you must think I'm a bitch or something. You taking my kindness for weakness now. I'm
Hmm.
gonna have to go back there and cuss your ass out. Like I don't like that. Like you gonna put your fucking mask on or you gonna get off my bus. And I try not to get to my point. I try to do the best I can. Don't let it get to that point. But man, it's people out there, especially homeless people. Man, you got people that try to attempt suicide to jump in front of my bus. You
Hmm.
know, like I'm driving, they just take off running in the street. They just take off running and try to get a check, you know. Uh, and I had this one guy, I had this one guy that I picked up, and he's trying to get out of state, and he said he's trying to leave the state because he done snitched on somebody, so somebody's after him.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh. Oh, come
Oh yeah,
on now. Come
yeah. He
on.
said
Just
yeah,
take
yeah.
it. Take the L. It's okay.
Man, he's usually when they talk like that, they probably like on some shit or they just got some shit going on in their mind. They ain't going right. You're like, man, I'm just trying to get out of state, man. Like they say I'm a snitch, but I ain't no snitch. I just had to do what I had to do, you know. And meanwhile, he got like a whole like his everything is shaved up here, but he got like a whole patch just left right here.
Hmm.
So he done shaved all this, but left like a little chili bowl, whatever, on the back of his head. So he's losing his mind. And I was like, well, sir, and I tried to help him. Like, hey, this bus gets to Idaho this certain time, so if you hop on this bus, you know you good. I like, all right, man, I need you to get out of my bus so I go use the bathroom. Oh, great. So you just gonna let them just shoot me when I get out there? So that's the they're gonna shoot me. You gonna try to shoot? You gonna let them shoot me? I like, man, ain't nobody out here. I pulled the smoking from Friday. Man, ain't nobody out here. Man, come on out of here. Just go on, get off the bus and stuff. I gotta use the bathroom. I can't have you on this bus. I don't know you like that. And you're like, all right, cool. Well, don't leave without me. Just make sure you come back to the bus. Don't leave without me. I said, I ain't going nowhere. I went to the bathroom. This motherfucker hide up behind the bus like this. He just peeking and make sure that I come out the bathroom. I said, man, I gotta find me a different job. Fuck this. I ain't got patience to keep dealing with people like this. Lord, I'm sorry. Much as I be really wanting to help these people,
No,
but
some people, I want to say this, and then I want to go fill my belly with food.
yeah,
Uh, I think what it is that some people, I think we all grow. I think honestly, we all come into this world having that like, okay, I really want to help people. I have this really benevolent heart. But over time, like you said, the patience level for just foo, it just drops down. It's like as you get older, nobody has time to argue. I actually met this couple who has been together for 20 years, and this is the honest to God truth. They
yeah,
said that they had already had an understanding once they first got together. We're not going to argue. we're gonna actually, like how you mentioned with you and your ex girl, y'all had like two little mini arguments, like two, not even an argument, it was disagreements. They
Yeah,
said that
disagreements.
they literally have not had arguments. They have not had a disagreement because they said that we're adults, and we know for a fact that we've been there, done that. Arguing is
Hmm.
exhausting. There are some
Hmm.
things I'm not gonna watch. Like I don't watch lies in hip hop no more because that's nothing but drama, and that
Love
like
and hip hop.
yeah, it's like on the shade room. I
Hmm.
scroll 85% of what's on the shade room with they post is nothing but negativity and I scroll past it. And I
Hmm.
think that's the thing, like as you get older, that's how you protect your peace. Like I
Yeah,
made this post yesterday where I said delete people who don't make you happy, unfriend them, stop talking to them, don't
yeah.
deal with them no more. People that you know for a fact, like I told you with the girl with Georgia, like I deleted her number today because I'm like, bro, like why am I even still dealing with this? Why am I talking to you? I didn't even get no invite to your gender reveal. Like I don't care, So like I said, it's like to
God bless
me,
you, motherfucker.
yeah, exactly. So like I said, it's some things, and I really hope. Do you? Let me ask you this, and then we can always do a part two and stuff like that. What do you really want to be in life? Like, what was something that you had said for a long time and you were headed that way, or maybe you did do it? What is your dream job besides not working for nobody no more? What is your dream job?
You know what? This is a unexpected twist of vegan interview. Like I got a list of questions that I'm trying to ask you, but you asking me shit. I answer your questions. Fuck it. Uh, See, I've been contemplating this since yesterday. I mean, honestly, my dream job is acting and doing podcasts, man. I mean, that's what I really feel like. That's what I feel like I really want to do in life. Just
Hmm.
pursue acting and comedy. Doing this podcast shit. It's like it's fun. You know, and I always try to like give people like realistic answers. Like, like like for example, like I want to be a doctor or something like that, or I want to be a fireman. I tried to achieve the fireman. Like that was like a little career that I wanted to do. I achieved that, but I didn't make it at the end. Taking a test, but honestly, like I always see myself like doing acting, comedy, and this shit right here.
Okay, and
You know.
it's gonna happen. Like it's definitely what you're wanting in life is it's definitely gonna happen. And I my thing is I can believe in you all day, but if you don't believe in yourself and you're not applying the pressure to it, then there's nothing I can do. But at least you can say, hey, if nobody else believed in me, Kendra Crump believed in me,
Yeah. Thank you.
and you can definitely
I
come on
guess
my
right now, like,
podcast as well.
oh yeah,
And
oh
it's
yeah,
every
this is,
Friday, Fridays 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
oh
Be
yeah.
there, be square.
I've been watching it. I really wanted to talk about talk about your show.
No, that's what I said. Bring me back for a part two. How about this? Bring me back for a part two when my belly
I
is
got
full
to,
and I'm not doing Bible study.
yeah, I got to because it's some shit that I watched on your show that I want to talk about. And it's about the yeast infection part, but I ain't gonna y'all. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, uh, when you get the chance, go on YouTube, type in the Kyndra Crump Show, and that's like that's the newest one, right?
Yeah, and make sure y'all spell it with a Y. Cause my name. Okay, here's a little fun fact. My name actually on my birth certificate, license, and even like when I'm sending a text professionally, it's
Yeah,
with an E. So Kendra. But the reason I changed it to a Y was because it's easier to find me. Because if you type in regular Kendra Crump on Google, like
it's like
thousands of pages.
hundreds or
So
hundred thousand.
I had to put it with a Y so I can come up the first link. It's like watching your favorite porn. You have to have a specific name. Okay,
Yeah,
back to the story. So yes, make sure y'all do the Kendra Crump Show. Do KYNDRACRUMP. Ain't no K. Ain't no last name KRUMP. Don't do that. Okay, but yeah, y'all can find me. Make sure y'all subscribe. Don't be no weirdo. So I got this one person real quick. There's this one person.
you still got some
He
feeling in that.
literally he literally did like he had like will sit here watch my stories and comment on my stories, but not even following me. But he finally followed my subscribed to my channel. But I'm like, bro, why are you even watching my stories? Okay, you have like 5,000 followers. You're following 5,000 people, and you have like 1,000 followers. Like, just add me on the 5,000 list. That means you really don't. You should not care. But let me say that. Let me go ahead and go because I got Bible study soon. I gotta eat some food, and I gotta
Yeah,
do another
go ahead.
podcast after this. Okay, but what I'm
Oh
gonna
yeah,
do, I will send you. Let me know if Fridays at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time work for you, where you can be able to have come on my own podcast and everything else. Because I
yeah.
think you'll enjoy. It's like with 5 other people, sometimes seven. It's other comedians, so your face is gonna be hurting from all that laughing.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, I ain't gonna waste your time no more, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, go on YouTube, type in the Kyndra with a Y, Kyndra Crump Show. Do you want to give out your social media? Did you already did that?
Yeah, yeah. Instagram is the Kyndra Crump Show. My podcast is the Kyndra Crump Show. So everything, just type in Kyndra Crump and you're gonna like find me. So Kyndra space because a lot of y'all ain't the highest graded weed in the dispensary. CRUMP.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here. The show with no name, change the world with one podcast at a time. Y'all motherfuckers be safe. We're gonna pay some bills. Y'all niggas be easy. Peace.